Stay savage, your boy ShinoBeenTrill. What's poppin'? Today we are back, gang. This time we got ourselves some Boruto discussion. So this time I am not alone. I am with the one, the only, the boy himself, the AnimeAnalyst. You know we pulling up in Phantoms, my bitch. No, it was good though.
Yo, Trill gang times real Ninja Nation. We in this bitch, young Jiggy Ninja. We out here about to discuss some Boruto next generation.
We sauce walking in this bitch, but today we're gonna be talking about 3 specific topics regarding the boy Boruto. So if you guys are excited about today's video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for daily content. Now I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this one time only. This man name is AnimeAnalyst. That mean he be on his analytic shit. Like, dog, we be in this bitch breaking and dissecting everything. So if you guys would like to go check out his theories and speculation videos regarding Naruto, Boruto, anything, you know, even verses, this man breaks down every aspect of it. His link is included in the description below. And with that being said, I hope you guys are excited for today's video. Let's get it.
All of these people, they down to rot. Look in my eyes. No.
So first off, we're gonna talk about the boy Toneri Otsutsuki, somebody that we saw in the recent episode who was attacked by the main branch of the motherfucking Otsutsuki clan. Now, there's a lot of speculation about Toneri. We're talking about in terms of the Jougan, in terms of what he did to Boruto, if he did anything. In fact, you know, me and AnimeAnalsyt actually sat here discussing this. You know, we had to powwow this shit before we actually got into a video because we didn't want our terms of interest to conflict. So basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you what I think happened. He's gonna give you what he thinks happened. We're gonna powwow with it and we're gonna discuss it a little bit. So essentially, if you guys watched the recent episode, you guys see that Toneri Otsutsuki is addressed by Yoshiki Otsutsuki. Essentially, they're both from the same clan. One is apparently from like the main branch, and one was forsaken for at least 1,000 years, which Toneri even noted himself, right? So essentially, like, my thought process is, you know, during this conversation we have Yoshiki who comes out of nowhere and is like, you did something to that woman's son, you know, or we saw what you did to that woman's son. Essentially, I mean, maybe it could have been him basically saying, you know, you passed on some power, you helped him manifest the Jougan, or essentially you could have said, hey, you know, this is what you have, you know, use it. So essentially, I'm all around those lines where I feel like, you know, maybe the boy Toneri actually, you know, passed on some chakra, essentially gave the remaining chakra of the Tentegan, but like, it's a lot of speculation. So Donnie, let me see what you got to see with that, bro. What we got?
Yeah, so essentially my point of view is that Toneri doesn't really have that much connection to Boruto's Jougan, other than that he's able to perceive it and he knows of its existence and knows its capabilities. So for me, I just think that Toneri is essentially the kind of guiding character that's always in the series, that's kind of mystical, and he's almost like just a mystical guiding force with Boruto, that he's aware of the potential that Boruto has because of his Otsutsuki lineage. So I just feel like with him being there and knowing about the Jougan, I feel like he didn't really do anything to specifically activate it within Boruto. I think that
true. Let me get up in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We did speak about this. We did say, however, Boruto is somebody that we know who have Hamura chakra as well as Hagoromo chakra, which I've said time and time again in a lot of videos because you guys are always trying to put the man Boruto down for some reason, but y'all gotta get this nigga credibility where credibility is due. Like deadass. You know, we got Naruto, who is the fucking son, reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths, Hagoromo himself. Then, you know, his wife Hinata essentially got power from Hamura, essentially, and then, you know, she thought that was the power that she needed in order to break the Tentegan, but in actuality the power was needed to be paired with a duo, which would be Naruto and her, aka Hagoromo and Hamura would be the only 2 beings outside of the other Otsutsuki that we don't know about who will be able to defeat and break the Tentegan. So, you know, so when a woman loves a man very much, they get together and they do the birds and the bees and the flowers and shit. That's no here nor there. Ain't your daddy or your mama. I ain't trying to explain to you what the fuck happened, but essentially the chakra dripped down from the boy Naruto ball sack into her ovaries, and then boom, Boruto, powerful ass baby. What you got?
Yeah, so yeah, essentially Boruto's bloodline, he's gonna be elite ninja, like just from his bloodline, because he just has so much stuff in there. Like Naruto has Asura's chakra passed down to him.
Yep.
And Hinata has connections to Hamura's side of,
which is the Hyuga.
That kind of so it's just that whole mix that creates the kind of mutation and whatever that.
You're not going to just sit here and call my nigga a fucking mutant, son. You're going to put some respect on young Boruto's name.
Yeah, man, that man Boruto, he gonna be part of the X-Men, my G. So.
Deadass. So obviously there's a lot of questions, a lot of concerns regarding that statement. I did get a few comments regarding that, saying that, you know, it's confirmed that Toneri gave Boruto the Jougan, which it could possibly a thing. We don't really know unless we get like some true backstory to like if, you know, Toneri has been operating and messing with Boruto this whole entire time. We do know, like me and Anime spoke privately about, we do know how, you know, Toneri actually used the moon to project himself to Boruto's dreams, because that's what the moon is, quote unquote, illuminating light. And sometimes when you have illuminating light, that can be mirages, that can be illusions, hallucinations, and shit like that. So, you know, he just made the boy have a real lucid dream of him, essentially letting him know, you know, hey, this is your power. And I can kind of see what Donnie is saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, so essentially what I'm just saying is Toneri, he had something to do with Boruto and the Jougan, considering he's basically the entity that invoked the power. When I'm saying that, I mean that he's the one who kind of did an action that was able to pull out the actual activation and stuff like that. I mean, even though the first time it was activated, Toneri wasn't really involved, but when it comes to like using it again and again, we just see Toneri a lot when it comes to that, because I guess he has some sort of power to call on it.
One thing I can say with that is, I feel like that could be like a wishy-washy, because Toneri, he's involved, but like the activation of it, it's like, it's a lot, because when you say activation of it, we never see Boruto actually activate this shit himself, you know. And this is what goes back into where I was talking about how Toneri prophesized about the Star of Hope, and then, you know, he was looking up talking about the Star of Hope. There was another star, and it was shining just as bright as the Star of Hope. That's why I call it the Star of Destruction, maybe Kawaki essentially. But, you know, I was talking to Donnie, Anime, fuck it, I just say whatever, but you know, essentially I was talking about the Tenseigan and talking about like the history of Tenseigan. If you know about the Tenseigan is, you know, the Kekkei Genkai's sister to the Rinnegan, essentially. It's basically both the same thing. You know, obviously people like to say, oh, one's stronger than the other, but they both do the same shit. Obviously we just never seen somebody jump through time with the Tenseigan, because we only got to see a short amount of time from Toneri. But how I feel about it is basically like, you see how, you know, we have Boruto essentially, you know, preparing for these situations. The new way appeared. I feel like the Jougan essentially only comes in time of calamity, essentially what the Tenseigan does, because like if you're not a true member of the Otsutsuki clan, you know, obviously the ability is not able to be used at its max potential, because if you guys know, in order to activate the Tenseigan, you have to be an Otsutsuki. You have to have Otsutsuki chakra essentially. So I feel like the Jougan is something similar. It only comes in a term of or a time of calamity, something when, you know, complete devastation is about to be being brought into the world. And that's something we haven't seen in Boruto since, you know, the following of the New Age, after Sumire basically got handled, after Boruto checked her for her disposition and her misbeliefs about the village and shit like that. You know, obviously we had the arc with Ryogi, and we had the 7 ninja swordsmen, quote unquote, that little coup that they was trying to throw, but it was never something that was completely devastation. Like obviously if the New Age would have exploded, the whole entire Leaf Village would have been destroyed, versus the 7 daily swordsmen, you know, they would have popped in that bitch and they would have just took over, and then they overthrew the government, and then they would have been in control, and then everybody else in the village would still be around, versus all these lives would have just been gone.
With that being said, essentially what we're trying to say is that the Jougan, it has connection to the Otsutsuki. There's no doubt. I think it was even stated by one of the people who work on the show that it's definitely connected to the Otsutsuki. So in terms of that, everything we're basically saying is speculation in regards to how deeply it's connected to the Otsutsuki. And in terms of Toneri being involved within that equation, he kind of brought it out within Boruto, but Boruto just had that innately just because of his bloodline. So it was dormant in him, but Toneri basically invoked it by him being able, because Boruto can sense things from other dimensions and stuff like that. So considering that, so that's how he's able to open that portal when that Nue
That
kind of shit was going on.
Yep, you hear me? Boruto said, "Bitch, you thought? Eat y'all. I'm in this."
Exactly. So I think Boruto will kind of be like a savior figure in terms of actually approaching the main branch of the Otsutsuki and going to that dimension. So I think he'll be a key player in that type of equation.
And like one last thing before we wrap up this topic and move on to the other two that I would like to note is that, you know, obviously Yorashiki, I would say Yorashi for short, but Yorashiki, essentially, you see him come over and you see him talk about the Boruto essentially, but before he even got there, you know, obviously Toneri probably was plotting and trying to help Boruto train and manifest, but he got froze for 10,000 years. Obviously this wasn't something that we seen Yorashiki do himself, because everybody's trying to say he has the ability to stop time and freeze time because he basically put Toneri in this palace of the Dragon King for 10,000 years. But if you guys look, when he did it, he dropped the box, and mind you, when he dropped the box, he took a step back because he didn't want it to affect him. Maybe that's the true king to the Otsutsuki. Maybe that's like the dimensional punishment for people who oppose them. They go see the true king or the true lord or some shit like that. Who knows? We don't know. But what I'm trying to say is, after he was turned into frozen time or frozen in space, essentially you see him saying Boruto's not strong enough. Essentially what that means is Boruto still has a lot of training, a lot of manifestation to do. So with that being said, contributing to what AnimeAnalsyt just said, that eye may be the true direction and the true gateway into the dimension of the Otsutsuki in terms of the main branch. In order to get into the main branch, you may directly need both Hamura and Hagoromo's chakra, which is essentially Kaguya's main chakra. Because if you mix those two together, essentially you got Kaguya, the rapid goddess, who was able to store herself into another dimension and create another truth-seeking orb that was the same size as the planet, and basically be able to, you know, amass an army of white Zetsu and basically do as whatever she pleased, because, you know, she was able to create dimensions at that point in time. So if Boruto has that ability and he can open up these fucking doors and he could just run shit up, you know, just do his damn thing at this point in time, like, you know, you telling me that this man is not a powerhouse? Like, what the fuck? Like, clearly he's gonna be that person that, you know, either Naruto or Sasuke is gonna need, unless one of them gets killed off for plot or, you know, something happens. But honestly, I don't believe Naruto will be the person being killed. Sasuke could get killed, which would trigger something in Sarada. But at the same token, I feel like it'll be somebody along the lines of Shikamaru or somebody like that. I don't want to go into too much detail about that. That's for a different video. So let's get into the next topic.
All right, so going into the next topic we have is the appearance of Kata within this Boruto episode. Because in the manga, it was detailed that Kata was directly involved with using genjutsu on Katasuke, the ninja technology dude, and they basically leaked information about his technology to the rest of the Kata and developed their own weapons for it and took his weapons and used them for evil purposes. So we know that they're behind most of his activities that happened in Boruto Naruto the movie, when Katasuke was basically trying to show the world the ninja tools, and he actually went to the one of the Otsutsuki dimensions. So we actually see a Kata member reach out and sneak up on Katasuke in this episode, and it's believed to be Kashin Koji, considering that the profile fits the man to the T. Really, like, he has the black cloak that he usually wears, he has the beard, the trademark beard that he has, so his frame is looking like Kashin Koji is grabbing Katasuke. But of course in the manga it is stated that Ao from the Mist Village is the one who controlled him, but people are kind of saying that it might not be Kashin Koji because of that fact. But you got to remember that they're making differences between the anime and the manga, so the profile fits. It's gonna if it fits, it's my dude.
And one thing I would like to know with that, a lot of people are talking about the misconception of how Ao was supposed to be the person who put him under the genjutsu and basically, you know, manifested his emotions and manifested him to go rage. But if you guys look at this mysterious figure has a beard, you know what I'm saying? He definitely fits the description of Kashin Koji. But one thing is for certain, that we've seen too many differences in the manga versus the anime. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, you know, I've been watching anime, this new Otsutsuki member, he's pretty good. Is he stronger than Momoshiki? And I'm going to honestly say, I don't know. I can't even tell you, because we never seen Yorashiki ever. This is the first time he's been appearing. You haven't seen him in the manga. One thing's for certain, you haven't seen Boruto activate his eye in the manga Only time you ever seen him is when he was fighting against Kawagi in the beginning, when it actually didn't depict on him having a dojutsu at all. It just depicted on him having the scar, you know what I'm saying? He had the scar and he had the mark, and you seen that shit embraced and you seen that shit activated. But you know, obviously the eye got depicted in the anime, which is something that we should have saw early on in the fucking manga. You know, obviously we should have saw like Boruto had leading up moments to him using that eye or even having perks to it. And like one thing's for certain, we are gonna see Momoshiki reappear, right? Obviously, regarding the Kashin Koji situation, I feel as though like maybe there is gonna be some type of tie and connections to the Otsutsuki that's way beyond them just trying to study their technology or study their skills or study their powers and shit like that. I feel as though, like, me personally, I spoke with Donnie about this. He feels his own way, and that's why I got him, because one thing's for certain. And when we talk about anime, when we talk about our ideals and our thoughts in anime, you know, we usually bounce against each other. It's usually conflicted interests, and it's not that I want him here for the conflicted interest. It's usually because he gives different type of insight to a certain type of viewership, and I give a different type of insight to a certain type of viewership. And if you base the things off of what we say and you put those two together, it can give you another deposition. It can put you in another situation where you can understand what we're trying to say, or maybe you can misinterpret it for like something way better than what we're saying. You know what I'm saying? Because if you take two different halves and you put them together, you might get a whole answer.
Yeah, I'm giving you multiple angles.
So essentially, when I'm looking at, you know, Kashin Koji and I'm looking at the rest of the Kara, I feel as though maybe somebody from the main branch of the Otsutsuki clan was like banished. Maybe he did something along those lines, or maybe he fell to earth or something like that, and somebody from the Kara either one found this person and they dissected this person to the maximum potential, or they killed this person, which allowed everybody in the Kara to get these seals. Because one thing's for certain, when we see Boruto go against the guy, what's the nigga name that
Momoshiki?
No, not Momoshiki, the other dude, the dude that eat people heads.
Kenshiki?
No, not Kenshiki. He didn't fight Kenshiki.
Are you talking about the Mujina band?
Yeah, Mujina. We see him talk about the Kara, and we see him talk about that organization and shit like that. He wasn't like super vital, because like he was short-lived. I mean, Boruto came in, he soloed him. Obviously Boruto fucked up a little bit, but then, you know, eventually he got clapped. But he talks about the Kara mark. So essentially, if this organization have a bunch of people with this mark, and if this mark is passed on to you from the Otsutsuki clan, how does all of these people in this thing all of a sudden just get this mark? Did they go on a fucking witch hunt for Otsutsuki members, or somebody was banished from the original Otsutsuki clan and they became the leader of the Kara, basically trying to get rid of Ninshu and basically destroy that? Now obviously Donnie feels a different way. Basically I'm gonna let him tell you what he said. You got it.
Yeah, so for me, I don't feel like it's really that detailed regarding Otsutsuki members within the Kata organization. It's really just the fact that they're associates, because I feel like from what I've read in the manga that Momoshiki and Kenshiki were working with the Kata with their whole game plan and what they had going on. Because when Momoshiki and Kenshiki basically attacked the Chunin Exams and attacked Earth and had their whole assault on Earth, the Kata were actually upset when it showed them, when they were first introduced in the manga. They actually said that damned Momoshiki, like,
yeah, as if they was on like personal terms.
Yeah, like as if he knew him and as if he like fucked up a plan that they had in the motion. So I feel like they were definitely like a sector of Kata. I don't know if they had their own like Otsutsuki branch or something, but I definitely know there's an inner branch and outer branch, and there might be an Otsutsuki branch, but they might also toss the Otsutsuki clan in the outer branch, because Ao was a member of the outer branch, and those are kind of like the agents that operate just kind of loosely and don't really have the important status that the inner members do. So I just feel like it's that way.
Well, yeah, I can understand that, but we've seen like outer and inner use for the Kara, but we've seen main branch and lower branch used for the Hyuga as well as the Uchiha. And you know, maybe at one point there's like a main branch and like a lower branch of the Otsutsuki, which would be the people that were forsaken for 1,000 years. And you know, these people are more than just Toneri, because for a long time Toneri believed that he was the only Otsutsuki member left. And if you guys look into the manga and well, not really the manga, if you look more into anime, there's a whole bunch of Otsutsuki ruins laying around. Like, they're all over the world. Like, eventually eventually Naruto thought that was 3, but then they found another one in the mine where Boruto went on a mission, and I feel like they could have been like 6, 7, 8, 9 more just completely scattered throughout the world, and they could have been different doors or different coordinates leading to different dimensions where other remaining Otsutsuki members, because not all Otsutsuki members want to show themselves, and not all of them are bad, because if you look at Hamura put himself on the moon, you know, he just basically sat there and observed the world that his brother created, basically with ninju and shit like that, and how he helped the humans learn different things. So he just kind of placed himself on the moon and just observed, and that's how Toneri, you know, kind of fucked up his celestial decree and didn't realize that he didn't want him to destroy the humans, but more so just observe and protect, you know what I'm saying? And that's what Toneri came to understand by meeting Naruto and Hinata. So like obviously at some point or another, this is going to be something that completely changes and goes into different directions regarding the Kara, because we don't know exactly how the Kara come to get this power. We don't know their terms with the Otsutsuki. We don't know their connection between Momoshiki, but we just know that they are aware of his presence. They know who he is. Obviously, in order to know his identity, you have to been either studying or following him to a certain degree, because if you guys know, Sasuke has been basically following Kinshiki and Momoshiki, and he finally got it on a hold of their trail in like one of the recent episodes. Clearly it wasn't in episode 53, it was at the end of episode 52, which we thought we were going to see this actually transpire in episode 53, but it didn't actually go down. You know, we kind of got the Toneri versus Yorashiki moment, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen with that. But there is like one more topic that we're going to talk about, and I'm about to run it. All right, so basically wrapping up this video, we're going to talk about the main branch of the Otsutsuki clan, something that we just kind of covered on, you know, just talking about like what their purpose is, kind of like what they are, like, because obviously, you know, we know about Soul Society and the king of the Soul Society that lived in another dimension in Bleach, which can be similar into this regard, because there's a Otsutsuki that protect the outside rim of the main branch, and then there's the inner branch would be the main branch, and we don't know a shit thing about them. We don't know who's sending them out. We don't know who's the leader. We don't know what kind of power they have. And one thing is for certain, if you look at Kaguya was a devastating force on her own. The man Hagoromo created a whole entire nation. He taught them how to use ninjutsu, aka Ninshu. You know what I'm saying? He exploited a lot of different things and basically let people learn all this type of shit. You know, we even see this man Hamura create a whole different world on the moon that looked exactly like the fucking Earth. You know what I'm saying? And apparently you can breathe on the moon. You know what I'm saying? So like everything we know has been a lie. And apparently there was a door to the moon that leads to the from Earth that leads to the moon. Essentially Naruto and Hinata and Shikamaru, all of them stumbled across it. So like if we have these people that are so great that created all this shit, you know, these Utsutsukis, these celestial beings that are so high, so like mighty, like just imagine, you know, obviously we got Kinshiki, who's powerful as fuck. He's able to create like not celestial but chakra weapons, you know what I'm saying? We also got not Kinshiki, Momoshiki, who's like, he could just absorb, you know what I'm saying? He's just eating up niggas and getting stronger, as well as Yorashiki. Obviously, maybe he gets absorbed early on, or maybe that's gonna be the absorption that contributes to Momoshiki getting this new form that is in the manga or some shit like that. But just imagine, we know what's gonna happen in terms of Momoshiki, Kinshiki. We don't know what's gonna happen with Yorashiki, but for the most part, we know that they're gonna get defeated. Obviously, the Kara is gonna be a big threat in this series, but the main branch, like the main branch is gonna be the true like threat. This is gonna be the true like thing that Boruto, Naruto, Sasuke, Hinata, like that village is gonna have to face. And then when they say celestial beings, you know, celestial beings come from the stars, they come from space, they come from different dimensions, you know, so who knows, they might live on a fucking planet that's eons away and they just sitting there observing through some fucking massive chakra telescope, or they just sitting there with agents everywhere. We don't know what the fuck they're doing. We don't know what they're capable of. It's just ridiculous, because if you think about it, Kaguya was able to sit in another dimension and have the truth seeking orb basically absorbing and amassing a fucking mile ton of chakra. She was able to create her own dimension. Like we said with Boruto having a Jougan, he can be able to go through different dimensions and be able to travel, which we saw him do with the New Way. Once he be able to access it and control it on his own, you know, obviously he's gonna be able to do things like that. But to find beings basically being in dimensions, creating and amassing chakra to Kaguya's degree, but times like 10 jillion or some shit, that's fucking scary. Because you gotta think about it, at that point in time, the world would just be eradicated. We do know that Toneri was strong enough to pull a moon into the earth. He was strong enough to slice the moon in half while fighting against Naruto, you know what I'm saying? So just think about what kind of effects these type of people would have. And they're gonna actually make Momoshiki look rather weak, because if you guys look at the things that Momoshiki did and, you know, look at the power and the power scaling and how they fought fought. Obviously, all the Kages had to work together. Momoshiki looks not that strong compared to Kaguya and, like, you know, fucking Madara to a certain degree, because obviously, you know, we had all the Kages coming together. We had Naruto and Sasuke and them coming together. We had all the New Age niggas coming together to fight Madara and then fighting against Kaguya. And then obviously like 5 to 6 people just handed Momoshiki and fucking Kenshiki the dick. So just think about what is to come. How do you feel about the main branch, and what do you think is going to happen in the coming chapters in the future of Boruto Shippuden per se?
For me, the main branch, I just think it's very they just have a very mysterious presence so far, because they've been really much detailed as like these scary individuals, considering that Kaguya was, yeah, like if you see how powerful Kaguya was, and she was scared of the main branch and what they were gonna do to her when they came, she was thinking there's some full scale type of assault type of deal, because she was trying to put the whole world under like white Zetsu type shit. So
yeah, so she got a massive army and shit.
Yeah, like, and you saw the power of Momoshiki and Kenshiki. So I just think that the main branch is gonna have a lot to do with Boruto per se, because I feel like they might, I don't know, because it's very conflicting when there's like there's like a Otsutsuki whole narrative, and then there's the whole
Kara narrative. It's like too much going on. Now, it could go back to what we said. Obviously, the conflicted interests, they could be together, or they could be agents using Nikara, or like, we don't know. And then one thing's for certain, we talk about the main branch, right? Obviously, the main branch is this super powerhouse, right? But it seems as though, like, to the main branch, Yorishiki, Momoshiki, and Kenshiki are kind of expendable. Because think about it. If they came out, then they went to observe. That means Yorishiki was the first scout. He came to observe and see what the competition was. Then Kenshiki was kind of a guard to protect Momoshiki, which was supposed to be the strongest one. You know, he was basically trying to stop Sasuke from basically getting a hold of him in his dimension. So, you know, he fought with Sasuke, but then he followed Sasuke back to the realm of the humans and shit like that to find Naruto, which had like a piece of the tree of life in him and shit like that. And obviously, they go after the Killer Bee as well. So when you see, like, you know, Kenshiki gets clapped up, you know, he sacrificed himself to Momoshiki so Momoshiki gets stronger. Like, think about this as these three just being father, like, minions, you know, compared to everybody else. Because if they sending 3 expendable members out to reassess these people, if they think these 3 people can just take everybody, and they just like, oh yeah, just send these 3 people. These 3 people can take all the Kages, they can take all the Naruto, they can destroy everybody in the village. They destroy them, you know, and then they turn out to not be strong. Just imagine what they might send next. Who they might send next, bruh. Like, it might send one nigga capable of eradicating every fucking, like, bruh, this is literally about to be the fucking Madara resurrection times a jillion, my nigga. This is about to be OD. But overall, man, Donnie, honestly, I had a great time making this video. We should definitely do this again, in terms of spoilers and shit like that. Maybe it'll be a little bit more organized, not so much all over the place. You know, this was kind of improv, but like, that's kind of how we like to do it. We like to have it with a little realism. That way, you know, as you guys leave your comments and shit, you guys can give us your personal thoughts and personal opinions in terms of what you think about what we said, what you think it is regarding the Kaguya, well, I said the Kaguya, the Kara, the Otsutsuki, the Jougan, Toneri, Yorishiki, Momoshiki, Kenshiki, all those different aspects of the show. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, me and Anime, we've been covering this since it begun, so why would we stop now? Clearly, I did go on super fucking hiatus, but hey, niggas back, you know what I'm saying? But overall, like I said, it was a great video. Donnie, you got any words?
Hey man, all I gotta say is, y'all, Boruto about to ramp up, so make sure you look at your seatbelts, because this shit finna get lit, my dude.
Yeah, y'all better be on the wave. So with that being said, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe for daily content. Check out the boy AnimeAnalsyt. He is analytic on his AnimeAnalyst shit. I'm about to kick it with a tantrum, my bitch. We pull up in Fantasy. Nah, I'm about to stop that. But overall, check out his channel. His link's in the description below. You know, he makes great content, you know, and like I said, if you guys enjoy it, make sure you hit that like button. And with that being said, finally, stay true and stay real. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. And until next time, see you guys later. Bye, Z. Shout out to the Real Nigga Nation. Well, Real Ninja Nation.
Oh yeah, thank you for Shino for having me on the channel. Trill Gang shit.
We in this bitch.
Ninja Gang.
And we out in this bitch.